Hope everybody's having a great Shabbat, and that we'll be able to get something from out of the study today. Something. The more you read, the more you start to understand, where did that come from? And who put it there? Ms. Clay, you don't have your computer with you today for us to be able to see where the documents are and what color is where. Most of chapter 31 is the E document, the Elohimist document. And about maybe 4 or 5 verses is the Y document. Of course, I think we had only one little line in the next chapter that came from the P documents or the priesthood document. And it didn't really even make sense for them to put that line in there when he said he came back from Pindara. Absolutely no sense. Huh? That's just the base in my voice. We're trying to keep it low. Yes. So with Jacob is now, he's increased, and he has increased by divination, by omens. He's increased by definitely not the Most High is the one who I've asked people this question since last Shabbat to this week. Why is it that you would put these sticks in front of the feeding trough and the watering place for them to come, and nobody can answer it? Everybody thinks it's just because he was putting something there that they would eat off the stick that would cause them to conceive speckled, grizzled, and black or different types of lamb or cattle. Yeah. And that is not the case. We know it was done by divinations. It was done by omens. It was done by the same thing that his father-in-law had taught him. So we see now, and we go back and we look at the whole children of Israel. And when we look at their background and see where they come from, that's the reason why today we have so many people, especially the Hebrew Israelites, where everybody's last name is Israel. Everybody's last name. But that's exactly what the scripture says, that they will subscribe by their own hands and call themselves a surname Israel. Chapter 31 and verse 1. You going to read from your chest?
Now Jacob heard that the sons of Laban were saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's. He has gained all this wealth from what belonged to our father. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him as favorably as he did before.
All right, stop right there. But we already have an account where Laban came to Jacob, and Jacob said, give me my children and my wives so that I could go to my father's house. And then Jacob, Laban told him, I know that this mighty one is blessing you because by divination I have seen it and he's blessed me. He has put favor towards me. And then they made an agreement. What did Laban told him? He said, you choose your wages and I'm going to give it to you. And he said, no, let's just make an agreement. Whatever animal come out speckled or black or spotted, those will be mine. And all the one that is pure will be yours. They already made it. So now why would the sons be having a problem when their father already made an agreement with their brother-in-law? You know why? Because they recognize that the same omens or divination that that their father had used, because they know that Laban was a trickster, is the same one. Remember what Jacob said? He's not more tricky than I am. He's met his match. You know what happened when 2 con men meet? One tried to out-con the other one, and they usually end up in death. Exactly. So now we have these sons are saying, this guy is increasing. And our father's wealth is going down. But his is going what? Up. And they went to their father and tell Laban, do you see how the pasture of Jacob is becoming more and greater than ours? So no, what is Laban looking at him? Laban is looking at him like this. I'm watching you. And Jacob is saying, oops, I shouldn't have got this rich too quick. So verse 2 says, and Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not favorable to him as it was beforehand. Now, if we go back to chapter 30 and verse 43, and it said, and the man increased and had much cattle, maid servants, manservants, camel, and asses. And Ahiah said unto Jacob, return unto the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So from verses 1 and verse 2, and then all the rest, we'll see why we have an insertion of a story. Because remember now, when Jacob was on his way to find his wife, to go to Laban's house, remember he had a dream? And the dream with the ladder coming down from heaven and ascending and descending. And then the one that told him, build an altar, anoint the altar, for I will be with you. And then Jacob went ahead and haggled and said, if you bring me into my father's house, surely I will give you a tenth. If you give me raiment and food and wealth, so I will come back to my father's house, then I'm going to give you a portion of that. Sound like a good con man. But what he didn't know was where he was going. He was going to meet the con men of con men. You see? Okay, verse 3. Read it from yours there, Chelsea.
Then Ahiah said to Jacob, return to the land of your ancestors and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah. All
right, stop right there. Notice how he changes. Verse 5. I like the way he does this now. Verse 4 is from the what? The E documents. So Jacob went and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. Private time with both of them, who've been fighting for the last 20 years to get his attention. Now he got a community meeting.
But in the Targum of Jonathan, it says, Yaakov sent Naphtali. It says, who was a swift messenger. Remember what Jasher says about Naphtali? That he'll run on the stalks of the corn and don't break it. And so it said that he sent Naphtali to call Rachel. So when it says he sent Naphtali to tell them to come to him.
And
let's think about it. Maybe they thought, this is my night. I can have another child.
Now,
you know? So they came.
So when Naphtali came to not his mother, neither one,
right,
because he was the child of Bilhah. And who was Bilhah? Rachel's handmaiden. I am pretty sure at this juncture, Rachel and her handmaid name and speak in terms either. So now, both of them came. Notice he didn't call for Bilhah or for Zilpah. Why didn't he call for them? Weren't they considered wives also? Yes. Here is my handmaiden, take her to be my what? Your wife.
Your concubine.
So why is it that he didn't call for them to? Well, you see, they've been fighting for so long. That's why in this e-document, this kind of writing, it makes you go, something ain't right here. It just doesn't sound right. That all of a sudden, Jacob have control now. All of a sudden now, he want to talk to his two wives, listen, about their dad. Blood is still thicker than water. So now, so he sent for them to come in from the field onto his flock. He could talk to them where? In private. Verse 5. Go ahead, Chelsea.
So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field where his flock was, and said to them, I see that your father does not regard me as favorably as he did before. But the El of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my strength. Yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times. But El did not permit him to harm me.
Wait. You know what Judge Judah would say? Judge Judah would say, how long you been there?
14 years.
And how many times did he say he cheated you? And you still there? Does it look like I was born yesterday? Does it look like I'm stupid? You've been there for 10, 20 years. And he's changed your wages 10 times. And you know he's a con man. But you told your wives, don't worry about it. I'm a good con man too. See? So we ain't got to worry about, what is he telling them? He's telling them what they want to hear. And how my father hath deceived me, and how I have served him all this time. And Leah should have said, and how you have wrought confusion in this family. Because you were my husband till my sister married you. And then we start warring against each other, and we gave you a handmaid. You never one time said, Jacob, no, that is not right.